take your time. We'll master this move. By the end of the video, your shimmies are going to be looking amazing. This is such an important and common move in belly dancing. It's really fun, and it's one you really need to master if you're taking your belly dancing to the next level. If you're brand new to belly dancing, this is a great place to start. If you've been belly dancing for a while, I'm going to give you some extra tips to make your shimmies stronger. And if you're about to advance into layers or starting off with your shimmy layers, this is really going to help you as well. So to start off, as always, we have good posture. So remember, with our belly dancing posture, we're bringing our feet hip width apart, pelvis tucked in, chest up. Today, you can have your hands out of the way. If it helps you can have your hands on your hips. We are going to be doing a classic Egyptian shimmy today. There are many different styles of shimmies. Today, we're doing a classic Egyptian style shimmy. Now, with your posture, make sure your feet are hip width apart with your feet parallel. I know many teachers teach it with your feet turned out, but you can imagine when you start going into your knees, bending and straightening, this is really grinding on our knee joints and not good for us. So start with your feet parallel. Once you get used to the movement and it feels good, you can play around standing in different positions, but while you're starting, bring it here so your knees can be nice and aligned. Next thing is to make sure you're really standing up tall. If you're leaning back, this is a very common problem with our shimmies, especially when you're first starting. You are going to feel it in your lower back, especially when you start to layer. So instead, tilting that pelvis in, chest up, bending one knee and then the other to get into the move. Now, a final point with our posture is to stand up nice and tall. When you're going really strong with your shimmies, you might find that your upper body moves a lot as well. Most common reason for this is that people are sitting down into their legs rather than standing up tall. If you think about your body being in two different parts, so you've got your upper body, you've got your lower body, we're elongating through here to separate the two, and that will really help you to master your shimmies without letting everything up here shake as well. Of course, everything in your upper body is connected, so it will, like, maybe you might get a little wobble here or a little wobble here. That's fine, but you don't want to be the whole wobbling all the way through as you come into your legs. Okay, part two. Now that we have our nice strong posture, we're coming into the movement. We're bending one knee and then the other, bending one knee and then the other. So as one knee bends, the other one straightens, and vice versa. If you are learning for the first time, you can use a mirror to help you. You can stand side onto the mirror, see yourself bending one knee and then the other. Okay, now that we are at this point in your shimmy, yes, I said there'll be lots of details today. Two really common problems I see. First one is people hyperextending their knee. Again, the reason why you don't want to do this is just because it can be a little bit uncomfortable on your knees, especially if you have unstable knee joints. You don't want to be pushing all the way out. So when I say hyperextend, I mean you're straightening the leg and then going beyond straightening as if you're locking out the knee. We don't want to do that. We come bend and then just nice and relaxed. You can see my knee looks straight, but it's not all the way, boom, locked out. So nice and relaxed, one leg, then the other. Now, the other problem I see very commonly when we come to this stage of our shimmy is people use their heels instead of their knees. As you know by now, belly dance is all about isolation. We don't want to move our heels in this one. We're just using those knees. Our hips stay nice and relaxed. I'm not purposely controlling my hips to stay in one place. I'm not purposely pushing my hips out like I might with a flick. I'm just staying nice and comfortable, nice and relaxed, and coming into that movement. So if you are struggling with this one, I've got lots of shimmy drills that you can try. Start it slow, keep it slow. Make sure your feet are on the floor, the whole foot is on the floor. This is why we've got our bare feet on our slippery floor, so we can really grip, feel the weight in our feet. Make sure you're moving one knee then the other. That's it. Okay, now we're going to speed it up. So as we speed it up, we keep all those points in mind. Nice tall posture. Knees, one bend, one straight, one bend, one straight. Nice and relaxed through our glutes, heels on the floor. Good job. You might be finding it's hard to go fast. This is also very common. And as with all our belly dancing moves, it comes down to practice. So if you find this really difficult now, don't worry, it's going to become easier for you. The more you practice, the sooner that point where it clicks is going to be. When you are going fast, things to watch out for. Firstly, make sure you're still using both knees. Very often I see people doing this fine where they're going nice and slow, but as soon as they speed up, it becomes like a little vibration. When you're doing a vibration shimmy, it's a lot smaller, it's a lot less relaxed. You can't do it for as long because you're tightening all your muscles. So let me just show you the difference. This is our shimmy, I'll do front and back. This is our shimmy with my glutes, with my legs nice and relaxed. Even though I'm working hard through my quads, through my hip flexors to bring one leg in front then the other, or one knee bent then the other, I'm still nice and relaxed through here, and you can see my shimmy scarf all shaking. If I tighten up, this is my shimmy. Very, very different look, very different feel. Doesn't feel as free, doesn't feel as natural. I'll show you from the back. So this is nice and relaxed. You can see I'm allowing everything to shake, especially through here. You just want to allow everything to shake. Whereas if I'm just doing a vibration, I'm squeezing through here. The movement's a lot smaller, less free, less comfortable, and yeah, just a little bit harder to do and not as nice. Especially as you get into layers, it's nice to have it nice and big, because once you start adding other things on top, yeah, it's going to be better if you have a nice, strong shimmy, nice and relaxed, coming through your knees. If you haven't heard the term layered shimmy before, that basically means just doing a shimmy with another move as well. So it might be you're doing a shimmy with an arm, might be you're doing a shimmy with a hip slide, might be doing a shimmy with an undulation. So that's more advanced, but just so you can keep an eye out so you know what's going to be coming next on your shimmy journey. And now that we have our shimmy, we have it fast, we have our heels on the floor, we have our glutes relaxed, we have our body up nice and tall, we have our good posture, and we are moving fast. The next thing to build is endurance. This can only be done with practice. So one way you can do it is to practice your shimmy as much as possible. The other thing that you can do is your thunder shimmy, which we have done in many, many videos. So this one just really builds the strength in those hip flexors quickly. To do your thunder shimmy, you're keeping both heels on the floor in that spot, bending one leg, then the other, and again, sitting up nice and tall. If it helps, you can bring one hand of each knee about that high above, and then you feel yourself hitting your hand. You can start off slow, and then when you're ready, speed it up. So some of the really amazing shimmiers in Egypt, they practice this every day. You can practice it for a long time as well. You might be feeling already it's quite difficult. And then next time you do it, you might be able to do it for a little longer. You might be able to then build up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I promise you, you will feel a difference. So let's just go for a little longer now. As you're doing it, again, you don't want to hyperextend your knees, so remember that means over straightening your knees. If you're feeling you are doing this, you can roll up a towel and just have a little height underneath your knees, and that will help keep them nice and relaxed. If you're feeling it too much from here, you can lean back, but I'd encourage you to really sit up tall, because then you'll get results sooner. Nice. Okay, let's come up and come back into our shimmy. Yeah, nice work. So already you can see it's a lot more relaxed. You feel better doing it. Sometimes we have to practice harder moves just to make the basic ones feel more natural. Nice and relaxed. Awesome work, shimmy shaker. So we have been able to keep our good posture, heels on the floor. We've been able to stay nice and relaxed through our lower legs and nice and tall through our upper body. We've been able to do one knee then the other. We've been able to do it fast, and now we've been able to do it for a long time as well. The next stage is to be able to do your shimmy without thinking. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would I want to be able to do my shimmy without thinking? Shouldn't I be thinking about my dance while I'm doing it? this is when we come back to our layers that I mentioned before. So if you want to add anything on top of your shimmy, you have to be thinking about the thing you're adding on top rather than the shimmy itself. So very start, it can be doing something simple while you are shimmying. You can talk to me, even though I might not be able to hear you. See if you can have a conversation with me while you're shimmying. If you find that you start talking and your shimmy goes, that shows you have to try and keep practicing so that you can be able to do it without thinking. Another nice thing you might be able to do is lifting one arm and then the other, just very simple moves, while still keeping your shimmy going. So this is going to take you into a more advanced level of shimmies, but it's going to be really, really fun for you and really great for your belly dancing to take it to the next level. I hope you've really enjoyed these tips. If you have any other ones, please leave them below in the comments so that everyone else can benefit from them as well. And if you want some drills to practice your shimmies, please check out this video here. This is a beginner's shimmy workout drills video, so you can really master those shimmies. And if you feel like you've got the endurance, you've been able to do your shimmies without thinking, then please check out this video here. This is my top 10 favorite layered shimmies. These ones are challenging, but they're so much fun. I really love doing these moves. Thanks so much for joining me and happy dancing.